Good afternoon to some of you. Good morning if you are on the West Coast. Welcome to my live stream and thank you so much for joining. I'm so super excited about the information I'm going to be sharing with you all today. Let me know who you are. I can see in the chat. I'm not actually on the Facebook right now, but I can see when you post who you are. Let me know where you're from, what type of business you have, all of those things, because today I'm going to be sharing with you, what type of businesses. Hi, Facebook user. It says Facebook user. Oh, for some reason I can't see your names. That's crazy. Okay, but hello. Thank you so much for joining. But today I'm going to be sharing with you the types of businesses. I'm going to answer the question, the type of businesses, like what type of businesses does the government, hi Lynette, give government contracts to? Like who's getting these contracts, right? And so I'm going to be sharing a bunch of tips with you all so you can understand what your positioning is and what your power is and how to get in. Hi, Stacia. Welcome. Las Vegas in the house. We got the West Coast in the house. Okay. And so Lynette, I'm so excited for you and all the amazing things that are happening with you in your new government contracts journey. I think that, what you have to offer is so priceless, and just get ready. just get ready because it's happening now, and it's just going to be life-changing for you. So I'm so excited to see you grow in this aspect. Hi Coco, good afternoon. Hey Gloria, hey everybody. So so I can see some of your names. Some I don't see the names because I think you have to like do something with StreamYard or something. So definitely. If you go to StreamYard, so Stacey Alefa, a little note there. If you go to StreamYard, then I can see who you are. I can see your name. Okay. Hi, Monique. Hi, Monique. Hi, Lavanya from Minneapolis. I have a job recruiting and a job board. Okay, cool. All right. So I know you guys hear me talk about government contracts and how many businesses, small businesses that are just like you, just like me, minority, women, small business owners are landing multiple 5, 6, and 7-figure contracts simultaneously, right? But you may not be sure if your business type falls into any of the categories. And so that's what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to talk about, what types of businesses are getting government contracts. Okay. So if you're new to my group, just new to who I am, I'm Karwana D. I'm a government contract strategist. I teach women and minority small business owners how to grow their business with government contracts so they can go from a small business to a big business. Okay. So that's very simple. It is very clear. With government contracts, you can easily go from small business to a big major business. Hi, Serena. Thank you so much. Cool. Awesome. Yeah. So today I'm going to share with you 10 tips to help you understand the types of businesses that the government gives contracts to. Okay. So if you find that your business falls within any of the categories that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I have a secret. And this is a fun fact that I'm going to share with you. You are leaving hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars on the table. Okay. So if you fall into any of the categories that I'm going to be sharing with you or identify with any of the tips that I'm going to be sharing with you, let me know in the chat because there's millions of dollars out there for you. And I don't want you to continue to miss what is set aside for you. This is a blessing. Okay. These are blessings for us as small business owners. Hi, Eb. That's right. Okay, so if you stay to the end, I'm actually going to be talking a little bit more about my upcoming free 5-day challenge, which we're having next week, where I'm going to be dedicating my time and my commitment to help you all get in position to start getting ready to land some of these contracts that that the government has for you. But it's about positioning and executing. And so I'm gonna take you through the pre-qualifications part, but I'll talk more about that in just a moment. Hi, Rashonda from Oakland. Hey, Bay Area, stand up. I'm from the SCO, San Francisco. Hey, so so here are the 10 tips that I want to share with you that will answer the question: what type of businesses does the government give contracts to? Y'all ready? Let me know. Say ready in the chat if you are ready to know my 10 tips. So Lynette says it was so many people who were 8A certified and not having no certifications. Sis, I can't wait to load your ear. I can't wait either. I can't wait to hear. I already know you on fire. Okay, so this is your season. Okay, so here's the first, right? This is the first tip. Number one, the first type of business that the government gives contracts to. Ready. Let me see. Who say? Lynette say ready. Cynthia say ready. Terrell says ready. Stacy are ready. Okay. Facebook user Alex is ready. Everybody's ready. So let's go. So the first type of business is a small business. How ironic is that, right? So if you are a small business, now how do you know if you are a small business, right? Because some of us haven't even made $500 or the first $5 in our business, right? I was there before and I know. So how do you know what is considered a small business? So the SBA has a size standard tool. So if you Google SBA size standard tool and type in the keyword of the service that you provide, it's going to tell you if you fall under that threshold, then you're considered a small business, a micro small business, or just a small business in general. And therefore, all of the contracting programs that the government has is set aside specifically for you. So that's how you know if you're a small business or not, because there's a size standard tool that will tell you exactly if you make over this amount, or once you hit this threshold and make over, it's like in the millions, really, it is per scope of service that you provide. Once you hit that threshold, then you're no longer qualified as a small business, and so these programs are become obsolete to you. But as long as you're under that threshold, which I say is in the millions, right? Even if you're making 100,000, 200,000, $500,000 or whatever, you're still considered a small business. So go ahead and, whenever you get a chance, Google SBA small standard tool and type in the service that you provide, and you'll be able to see, like, this is wow, there's a lot of money on the table for you. And so because you're a small business, the government wants you to become a big business. And why? Because they want you to eventually become the employers of tomorrow. Small businesses make up 90% of the employee workforce, right? And so that means that we're stimulating the economy as small businesses, but we're also creating jobs. And so they want to have you do more of that, right? And help you grow so that you can do more of that and offer more jobs. And so that's why we have small business set aside contracts. Okay. So tip number one is a small business. That's who the government is giving contracts to. Number two is disadvantaged businesses. Okay. So if you're at a disadvantage, right, which means that you didn't come into business with millions already, you didn't come into business with investors and venture capitalists and like all of these angel investors and all that stuff. You didn't come into business, with all of this ready-made, this plan, right, already, but you were at a disadvantage because maybe you come from a working class family. You're at a disadvantage because maybe you serve a poor community or an urban community or a underutilized community. You're at a disadvantage. Maybe you don't have money to spend on marketing or budgeting or anything. Perhaps you don't have money to invest in anything in your business. And so you're bootstrapping it like on a shoestring budget. One step at a time, right? And so those are considered disadvantaged businesses. And so small businesses are also disadvantaged businesses, okay? So tip number three, whoever else, who else is the government giving contracts to? Women-owned businesses, okay? So they have programs and contracts that are set aside specifically for you because you're a woman in business, because the government knows that we've been at a disadvantage for so long, right? Especially as women, even as minority women, you're double minority, all of these things at disadvantaged businesses and whatever. They know that we've been at disadvantages and that we've been in a disposition for so long. We don't have accessibility to funding. And when you go to the bank, it's all about your credit score. And, in certain communities, like credit is not something you learn in school, right? So we jack up our credit at a very early age. And now we're in a position where we want to start a business, but we don't have the capacity to grow, right, on our own. And so that's why the government set aside these contracts for women-owned businesses as well, because we've been at an unfair disadvantage and competing against men, right, who have been like the leaders, right? And so, yeah, Deborah said, the economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business. Yeah, that is a certification that allows you to get access to federal contracts that have been set aside specifically for women. And so there's a bunch of different programs, and there's 3 levels of government. I shared this in a previous training. There's a local government, there's a state government, and there's a federal government, and all 3 levels have contracting programs that are set aside for you under all of the categories that I'm sharing with you today. So tip number 4 is, and this is the new one, right? In the past, I want to say the past 10 years or so, this is a new category: LGBT owned businesses. And you don't really see a lot of business owners that claim this status, right? But if you are a part of the LGBT community, they have contracts that are specifically set aside for LGBT owned businesses, right? Isn't that crazy? That's amazing. Like, really. So if you're a member of that group and you can actually prove that you're a part of this community, they have contracts that only you can go after. Okay, so that's number 4. So number 5 is service disabled veteran owned businesses. And I want to share, and I think I've said this before. There was I remember about a year ago, I was just looking through contracts, right? I was just looking through just contracts and seeing just like all of these different things, and I'm like, who do I know? I know so many different businesses. Maybe I never personally met you, or maybe we've rubbed shoulders, or I've patronized your business or whatever. And I'm like, all of these businesses, I'm looking at contracts, right? I'm like, oh, such and such could go after that, and such and such. So I seen a contract for a disabled veteran owned business, right? It was a set aside, a parking lot where it used to be it was a homeless encampment that they cleared out, and they just wanted someone to go power wash the concrete for $200,000. And only a veteran owned business can go after that. And I know so many veterans who have served for the country and served in the military and served in the army and did their service, and now they have a business, but don't know that all of these benefits are available. Like, there's contracts that only you as a veteran owned business can go after. So if you have a veteran owned business, or if you are a veteran, there's opportunities for, other businesses to partner with you. You can partner with them and help other companies go after veteran owned, contracts, just simply because you are a partner and you are a part of that business. And so, but also you can go after these contracts for your own self as well. So number 6 on the list is Native American owned businesses. Hello, somebody. Okay. So if you are a part of the Native American heritage in any kind of way, and then you can prove that you're a member of a tribe or anything, they have contracts literally that are set aside specifically only for Native American businesses. So all of these socio-economical disadvantaged statuses that I'm sharing with you is power, right? So we can't really use the excuse that says, oh, we don't have any help as women, right? There's not a lot of resources for us as women. No, nobody wants to help a Black business. It's not enough opportunities for us to build our business. They want us to fail anyway, right? We're small businesses, and nobody has money for small businesses because we can't pay back loans or whatever. But all of those things, for every hurdle, for every mountain, there's a resource, right? There's a way for you to get around that hurdle. There's an answer, right? And so it's just really about tapping into knowledge and understanding the power that you do have as a woman-owned business, as a minority-owned business, as a disadvantaged business, as a service veteran business, as an LGBT business. There's always a solution. This is just one of the many solutions that are out there, but this is a very powerful solution. Okay. So number 4 is a local business. Okay. Everybody's a local business. You're a local business somewhere in the city where you live, right? So if you legitimately are a local business in your city, in your county, and you serve that region, there are contracts specifically that are set aside that the city has for you, right? And that the county has for you as a local business. Okay. So if you fall into any of these categories, again, you are leaving millions of dollars, if hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not trillions and billions of dollars on the table. So you have to understand it's all about educating, right? And so that's what I'm here to do, to empower you with education, so you understand that what is yours, right? Because a lot of times when you walk into the SBA or the small business center in your city, they're not going to tell you behind the scenes what's really out there for you, right? They want to know what you know. And if you don't know nothing, we just gonna keep it at that, right? We're just gonna work on your not knowing. So because this stuff is not new. It's been around like forever in the day. And so I'm just here to bring it to the light, right? They messed around and told me about it. Well, they didn't tell me about it. I just stumbled upon it. And so now I'm like, I'm going to make it my commitment to educate my people and to empower other people and to show them, right? That's my God-given duty, to empower and educate and uplift. Okay. So number 8, professional service-based business. Okay. If you provide a professional service, you may wonder what that is. Hi, good afternoon. Hi, Diane. Hi, Tracy. If you provide a professional service, which means anything outside of supplies, right? You don't exchange a product for payment or whatever, but you provide an actual service. And that could be janitorial service. It could be catering services. It could be a food beverage service. It could be decorating, a decor service, or art, or engineering services, or construction. It could be anything in a service space. You could be a coach, you could be a consultant, all of those construction or those professional service-based services, right? Like credit repair. Who we have on here, Lynette does credit repair, all of those things. And trust me, she's already on. She's already been offered her first contract and just barely got into position. And so this is just going to be so life-changing for her, right? So catering, interior design, laundry, right? I see contracts for washing clothes, like doing a laundry service, a cleaning service, right? Trucking, security guard, architecture. So any type of professional service that you provide, best believe that the government has a contract for you, right? Massage, yep, massage services. I mean, I recently, I'm a part of this network, BNI network. It's a like a networking group or whatever. And one of the guys in there I had a conversation with, and he didn't even know that what he was doing was called government contracting, right? Because he provide eyeglasses. So he has that eye care services, right? Do eyeglasses and do things with optometry and everything like that. And so he was like, oh, you know what? You're right, because I have a contract with the Department of Defense or one of the government agencies providing eyeglasses, or the Department of Veteran Affairs providing eyeglass services. And so, so for anything, what about tax preparer? Yep. Bookkeeping. Yes. I'm coming to play. Okay. So yeah, absolutely. Bookkeeping, of course, janitorial services. And in fact, I want to say this, and I said this in the last training. But so when COVID hit, so janitorial service has always been relevant, right? It's always been a big one, right, for the government. And so when COVID hit back in like February, March, right? Between March and June, the government's response to COVID was $1.4 trillion. That included janitorial cleaning services, sterilizing, masks. That includes all of these things. And they still have trillions of dollars that they're spending right now, right? They have budgets to clean up, right? And so you can kill the game, right? And I also talk about janitorial in construction. The government spends trillions of billions and trillions of dollars every single year on construction projects. So whenever in the city you see cranes going up, in the city when you're seeing trenching and digging and hearing all of this, streets being broken up, all that stuff, construction, that is dollars. And janitorial services for construction cleanup is huge. So you have to understand how to leverage opportunities, or how to basically be flexible, right, in the type of services that you provide to go after some of those dollars. Okay. Hair loss. Yeah. Hair loss for alopecia stuff. Yep. So what? Yep. So I don't know who that is. It says Facebook user, but yeah. So one of my clients who went through my program actually got a contract for prosthetic wigs, and it has to do with like hair loss and people who have lost their hair and everything like that. So yeah, absolutely. And I want to say this. Now, I have friends that go to church, not only go to church, but are ministers of music. They play instruments, they perform, they sing, they do all of these things. There's contracts for musicians. Okay. And I found that the Navy base, the Army base, all of these military bases, they have what's called a chapel, right? They have chapels. And on the chapels, they have choirs. And in order to have a choir, you have to have a minister of music, right? You have to have musicians, right? And so definitely music services is absolutely one of them. Travel planner, Gloria says travel. Yep, they have it for travel. as well. And you're welcome, Deborah. Okay. So I don't know what Reiki is. I don't know what that is. So you have to put that out. I've never heard that before. I don't know what that is, but it's a good chance if it's a service that the government buys it, right? So I'm not sure exactly what a Reiki is. Who knows? So so let me see. So we went through professional. Okay, so number 9, supplies. Okay, you can sell a pencil. You can sell a billion pencils to the government, pens, paper, office supplies, equipment, cameras, body cams, clothes. If you're in a clothing space, if you sell apparel, t-shirts, you can sell shoes, right? Uniforms, like lighting, artwork, and posters. You can sell all different type of supplies as well. I typically work with those who are in the professional service space, so those who are professional service providers, but there are supplies. You can sell supplies to the government, health supplies, all different type of equipment, office furniture, all that different type of stuff. So insurance, absolutely. Real estate, yes, you can. T-shirts, yeah, everything. So notary services, medical supplies, absolutely medical supplies. In fact, they have contracts for like for mobile laboratories. So if you do like blood work and all that stuff, Quest Labs have contracts with the government. In fact, on the supply side, Amazon has a contract with the government. Amazon, one of the biggest supply chains, right? One of the biggest suppliers. They have a contract with the government. Okay, so they're not just getting money off of us, off of our spend, our Amazon's dollars or whatever, but they have huge contracts with the government. Even card rideshare cars with the Lyft and Uber have contracts with the government. Okay, so photography, oh girl, let me tell you, Nikisha, okay, it's all about being strategic and thinking outside the box. Okay, my first contract, in fact, not just my first, but multiple contracts that I have, is for photography. Okay, with the government. Okay, so I photograph city agents, right? So they do headshots, I do their websites, like all that stuff. So photography is huge, right? Not only for their marketing, but also for their brochures. In fact, the Department of Public Health called me about 4 weeks ago, and they want me to go to like some of the clinics and take photographs and for their brochures. And so there's absolutely contracts for photography. Okay, absolutely. Let me see who else. Website design, yeah. So yeah, website and hosting, yes. So Cynthia said website and hosting services, and I know I'm leaving a lot. Yep. So absolutely. In fact, the police, in the city of San Francisco where I am, the police accountability department, actually I did some graphic design work for them. I created a logo for them. It was like a whole new department. Website for some city agencies. I've done websites, hosting. Those are the things that I kind of outsource to a third party. But yeah, absolutely, you can sell hosting to the government. Everything is crazy. Career coaching. Do you have to be in business for a year to get a contract? That's a really great question. And insurance, let me see, med spas, facial, skincare. You can sell makeup to the government. In fact, another contract that I saw that was specifically set aside for a woman-owned business was for a beauty supply or a hair beautician, or what do you call them? People who do hair. It's called a beautician. I don't know. But the person that does hair, to go into the federal women prison for 2 weeks. And that contract was for $200,000 to do their hair and make them feel beautiful, right? And so there's contracts for just about everything. Now, so business, I'm gonna go back to that question. Do you have to be in business for you to get a contract? Okay, so every agency has their own set of rules, right? You can be in business for 3 months and get a contract, okay? There are some agencies, like maybe it's the city or the county or the department of whoever, right? They may say, hey, we only, and this is normally for the local stuff, right? We don't want, if you have a contract for a local business, right? We don't want a new business getting local contracts that are set aside for the businesses that's already been here. So some cities require you to either be in business for 6 months or maybe perhaps a year, but it varies from city to city. I know here in the Bay Area, Northern California, it requires you to have been in business for 6 months, right? In order for you to get set aside contracts for a business. So you have to be vested, but that's not the rule for every city. It's not the rule for all contracts. And so never limit yourself because one agency has a rule, right? Because guess what? If your city says wait 6 months, you can still get county, state, and federal contracts right now. You can start today your business, right? And 3 weeks out, get a contract as long as you have these certifications that you need. Okay. So so number 9 was supply. Number 10, right? This is in line with the question that you just asked me. Number 10 is going to be, you have to have a legitimate business. You have to, right? You can't be a freelancer and not have your paperwork in order and think that you're going to do business with one of the largest paying customers like you could ever acquire, the government. You have to have your business in order. So you do have to have a local business license if your city requires it. You do have to have, you can be a sole proprietorship as long as you have a business license, right? So you do have to have a legitimately formed business. Okay. You do have to have what's called an EIN number. That is a free number that you get from the IRS. So if you go to irs.gov, you can actually apply for a free EIN. You get it the same day. It takes you literally like 10 minutes, but you do have to have those as minimum. Okay. So those are all the things. That's 10. Thank you. You're welcome. Sing Simone, sing it. So I'm just going to do a quick recap, right? So here's all the areas. This is who the government is giving contracts to. They're giving it to small businesses. They're giving it to disadvantaged businesses. They're giving contracts to women-owned businesses, to LGBT-owned businesses, to service-disabled veteran-owned businesses, to Native American-owned businesses, to local businesses, to professional service-based businesses if you provide a service, right? And also supply-based businesses. But number 1, they are giving it to legitimate businesses. That means you own it. You can take that business and close it. You can take that business and change the name. You own it. You have 100% rights to that business, not an MLM, right? Not if you're an independent business owner under somebody's umbrella. That's not your business. But if you have a business that you own and you can actually take that documentation and say, I'm a woman-owned business, I want this to be officially certified as a woman-owned business. That means you own that business and you can get a contract with the government. So if you fall into one or more or any or even all these categories, then guess what? There's millions of dollars on the table. And if you haven't started getting those contracts that are on the table for you, what I'm going to be doing next week is I'm going to go through a whole week of where we spend an hour a day. So I have a free 5-day challenge. I'm going to help you get pre-qualified. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to have in your business, starting with the business license, the EIN. There's a bunch of other documents that you have to pre-qualify. You can't even knock at the door and say, I want to do business with the government unless you have these documents. I'm going to walk you through that process. Okay. So yeah. So, and that's value. I'm going to do that absolutely for free with you because I believe, that this is my duty to teach other people how to do it, and everything is going to help, right? Every step of the way, any type of help that you can get is going to be helpful. Okay. So if you're ready to eliminate all the excuses about, I can't get my business right, I'm failing in business or whatever, and you want to get your business in formation, okay? The pre-qualification 5-day challenge is the way to get it done. So I'm going to help you go after every contract. I'm going to show you exactly how to get in position to go after all the contracts that the government has for you. So that's the special gift that my team has put together for you. It's called the free 5-day challenge. If you go to govconchallenge.com, you can register at govconchallenge.com. So I'm committing an hour a day for these 5 days to help you get pre-qualified to land government contracts. If you are a government contractor already, or you're already a certified business and you never landed a contract, you don't know what to do, you have absolutely no direction, I invite you to join me as well, because there's a lot of nuggets that I'm going to be sharing that will help you better understand. Sometimes people give you the big picture, but it's the little steps in understanding and knowing the full process. You have to understand the full story. And I'm going to give you the full story to being pre-qualified so that you have a better understanding of what it is that you have in your hands. Okay. So let me see. So this will allow you to be on multi-billion-dollar projects. Every multi-billion-dollar project, trillion-dollar project, every government contract has a percentage, an obligation, a mandatory obligation to give a percentage to all of those groups that I mentioned earlier, like to women, to minority, to small business, to veterans, like every percentage, right? So if you're not accessing those types of contracts, if you're not in position to access that money that's on the table, then you're leaving a lot of money on the table. You're leaving a lot, that's on the table. And so, so we have a lot of broke nonprofits, right? We have a lot of broke nonprofits that people that have started nonprofits. You have a great purpose, and we're trying to chasing grants, right? Grants is good money because it's free, right? And it's easy money because you have, it's free. You don't have to do any work to get it. You just have to serve a purpose. But there's contracts for nonprofits as well. That is more sustainable. That is the sustainability that will help you be able to serve your community in a greater capacity and over a longer period of time. Because most of the contracts that they have is like 2 year to 5 years. Okay, and some of them are 2 year to 5 years with renewable terms, right? So which means you can continue to renew. So depending on the city and the county or the state or the federal contract that you have, it could be an ongoing thing for like up to 10 years, right? So how about sustainability for your business? Okay. So here's why I am so passionate about sharing this information and why I want to do the pre-qualifications with you absolutely at no charge. I'm committing my time, and my time is very, 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 very valuable. Like the knowledge that I share is really valuable. So I hope that you value it as well. But this is the reason why that I share this type of information. Number one, as minority people, our communities are suffering. We're going through gentrification. People are losing their homes. Families are broken and have, because of lack of financial stability and all of these things. And we are at a complete total disadvantage because we don't have any economical power. We don't have we're barely making ends meet with ourselves, right? And we're struggling, right? But what if you position your business as a vehicle to generate wealth, as a vehicle to bring in income so that you can buy up the blocks in your community, so that you can help an old, elderly, African-American woman not lose her home because of gentrification or because of a reverse mortgage that she got herself into, not knowing and understanding. But you have the economical power to change your community. So that's really what it's all about. It's about strengthening our economic power together across the U.S. Government contracts is a way for us to be able to do that. We can change our communities, but it will all start with you, right? So we're not trying to build billion-dollar businesses just so we can just be billionaires, right? You have a greater purpose. Everybody was called here for a greater purpose, to serve, and it is your duty. If you have a business, you have the duty to do something to strengthen your community, to help inside your community, to help our kids with education. Our schools are broken. They're not teaching economic wealth. They're not teaching how to start businesses. They're not teaching, as soon as you go to college, they're going to offer you all of these credit cards so you can be in debt. They're going to offer you all these loans so you can be in debt. They're not teaching financial literacy. And so it's our job to do that. And so how do we do that? By taking back the power, right? We can start our own schools if we have economic power. We can start our own everything, coalitions, if we have economic power. And so here's an opportunity for us to get in position to get large, multiple 5, 6, and 7-figure dollar contracts, right? To grow our businesses and to build our communities and to have economic power to change the way, we look at, people view us as a community as a whole, to change the way the world goes, right? And so that's what we can do. Sustainability. Okay. So Tracy just said, I just received your book. So thank you so much for purchasing it. Yeah, I do have a new book. I'm gonna show y'all really quick. I have a new book. The 10 Habits of a Highly Effective Entrepreneur. That is available on Amazon, or you can just like inbox me and I'll send you a copy or whatever. You can get it from me. Okay. I can send you the link, but it's a really good book. It just really just talks about, just being focused and some of the habits that you should have to be more successful and more effective in your daily efforts as an entrepreneur. Okay. So let me see who else says some things. I'm so mad. It's telling me the link is broken. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, govconchallenge.com. So you may have to put the www. And I think, Stacey, can you post a link in the group just so everybody knows where to go? Yep. Thank you. Thank you, Allison. She says, I value your time, economic power for our community. Absolutely. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell the truth. Yep, this is a part of my business. Yes, it is true that you have to have yourself and another person as owners in order. Oh, is it true? In order for the SBA to approve 8A certifications, I read you cannot be an LLC single member. Regina Madison. Hi, Regina. I need it. Okay, I'm just reading some of the comments. Nice. I'm going to need the link so I can get it. Okay, so I'm gonna post a link right here. I think it's let me see, GovCon. Oh yeah, Stacy had just posted it. So govconchallenge.com. So get registered for the 5-day challenge. I'm going to be personally helping you get pre-qualified for government contracts to help you grow your business. And so that you're ready to take the next step, which is to officially become a government contractor. Okay. So Allison, yeah, just inbox me, Allison. I'll send you the link. Okay. Thank you, Lynette. Looking forward to seeing you. And so that's it, right? So I just covered my 10 tips of the types of businesses that the government is giving contracts to. So if you fall into one or more, all or any of those categories, that means, and you're not doing business with the government, you haven't even never landed one, and you don't know what to do, then join me in the free 5-day challenge for next week. We're going to go through it at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every day next week, each day, Monday through Friday. So that we can get you pre-qualified and you'll be ready to start going after those dollars that we're leaving on the table. Okay. All right. So, yep. So Lynette says, I'm a single member LLC. It's good to be a joint venture. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Cool. So Facebook user says, I have a question. Yeah. If you didn't click on the StreamYard to show your name, it just says Facebook user. I shared it. Please call me, sis. Okay, I have the T after. Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. So I already know we need to talk. All right. So that's it. So I'll see you guys on the inside. I'll see you in the free challenge. If you have any questions, thank you so much for being a part of the group. Invite other people to join the challenge because this is something that we can do globally. If you live in the U.S., right, this is something that you can do in any state, right? And I'm going to help you get pre-qualified to land contracts where you are. I work for the government. Can I still apply? So that's a really good question. If you work for the government, let's just say you work for the city, right? If you work for the city, you cannot get city contracts. But if you work for the city, you can get federal contracts. So there's ways around it, right? So because it's considered a conflict of interest, but you can still do government contracting. You just can't do it on the level of government that you're in. Okay. Let's see, insurance. Linda, been wondering why I could not come. Yeah, so that's why I shared it with many. Thank you for sharing it. Yeah, so invite other people, invite small business owners, invite people who you think may be interested in starting a business, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of knowledge about starting a business, doing it the right way, and getting pre-qualified for the government. But not only will what I'm going to be going through help you with government contracts, but it'll also help you to just position your business for wealth, right? Basically, it's gonna help you become a fundable business foundation to where not only can you get government contracts, but you can actually get access to funding and business credit and capital and all those things. And so this foundation that we're going to build together next week is going to really, really help you overall. Okay. I'm on federal platform. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. All right. So you all have a great day. I am done for today, but have a great weekend. If you have any questions after today's session, it will be available for replay. Go ahead and post your questions in the group, and we'll talk next time.